Hello to all electric car enthusiasts. This is a special review from MeGoelectric EN from the VOLTauto channel. Today we invite you to explore all the features of the IM LS7 model. Glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. Let's go! To start, let me tell you that the automotive brand G Auto, also known as Intelligence in Motion or IM Motors, was founded in collaboration with the major automotive conglomerate SAIC, the IT company Alibaba, and the administration of the Pudong district in Shanghai. The conglomerate holds 64% of the shares, while the other two shareholders have 18% each. The company was legally registered in December 2020. At April 2021, at Shanghai Auto Show, IM Motors unveiled three cars, a pre-production prototype of the L7 sedan and two concepts, the mid-size SUV LS7 and the autonomous capsule Aero. While Aero remains a concept, the L7 sedan has become a production model, as has the electric crossover LS7. An interesting fact is that it was officially announced at the end of the summer that the German Audi and thus the VW Group would use the IM Motors architecture and consequently the Chinese SAIC conglomerate's platform named IO Origin. In other words, a German manufacturer, part of the renowned German trio Mercedes, Audi and BMW, will use a platform from a Chinese company to create their future electric vehicles. In my opinion, this is recognition by the Germans of the technological potential and, in some aspects, the superiority of Chinese automaker. But let's get back to the focus of our review. IM Motors unveiled the production version of the new electric crossover IM LS7 in January of this year, with sales starting in February. In the base version, the IM LS7 has only one electric motor on the rear axle. It produces 250 kilowatts or 340 horsepower. In the top version, there are already two electric motors with a total power of 425 kilowatts or 578 horsepower. As a result, the acceleration for this all-wheel drive version from 0 km to 100 km per hour takes 4.5 seconds. And that's the version we have for today's review. You can choose from three battery capacities: 77, 90 and 100 kilowatt hours. The maximum range is 660 kilometers for the rear-wheel drive version with larger battery. On the same battery, our all-wheel drive modification travels 625 kilometers according to the CLTC calculation cycle. In total, with three batteries, the single-motor version can travel 510, 602 and 660 kilometers, and the rear-wheel drive version can cover 550 and 625 kilometers. There are no versions with a 77 kWh battery and two electric motors. The company notes that the base model comes with pneumatic suspension with adjustable shock absorbers, and Brembo brakes are installed on the wheels. And I almost forgot about the dimensions. The length of the car is 5.05 meters, the width is 2 meters and the height is 1.77 meters. The wheelbase is 3.06 meters. The aerodynamic coefficient is 0.268. Before we move on to the interior, I'd like to say a few words about the first and third production models, the L7 sedan and the L6 electric crossover. I'm sure they will also catch your attention. IM Motors has been selling the electric L7 sedan in China for almost 2 years. The all-wheel drive version is the most popular among buyers, equipped with two electric motors with total power of 400 kilowatts or 544 horsepower. Thanks to this electric power, the sedan accelerates from 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.9 seconds. You have the choice between two batteries developed based on cells from the world market leader CATL. The first has a capacity of 93 kWh and the second has 115 kWh. With one full charge of these batteries, the single-motor electric sedan can travel 602 or 660 km respectively. For the rear-wheel drive versions, it's 550 or 625 kilometers according to the NEDC cycle. This year, Intelligence in Motion introduced its third model in China. It's called the IM LS6. The crossover is just 10 cm short of reaching 5 meters in length, actual assembly 4.9 meters. The L6 model features frameless doors with electric locks. On the inside, there are no traditional handles for locking, only buttons. Unlike the second model of the brand, the LS7, whose windshield is also the part of the roof, as with our featured car, the third model of this brand usually has a standard windshield. However, a panoramic roof with dimmable electrochromic coating is already included in the standard equipment. Two versions of the IM LS6 are offered for the market. The base IM LS6 has rear-wheel drive with a single motor producing 250 kilowatts or 340 horsepower. This engine can accelerate the car to a maximum of 200 kilometers per hour. The second version is all-wheel drive with two electric motors totaling 578 kilowatts or 787 horsepower. This version can reach a top speed of 252 kilometers per hour, and its 0 to 100 kilometers per hour acceleration time is 3.5 seconds. Before we step inside, I would like to draw your attention to the retractable door handles. They are well made, and I believe they will work without problems. It's also worth mentioning the double glazing in the doors, even in the base configuration. In the top trim of the interior, you can find leather, suede and wood veneer finishing. In the lower trim levels, you get high-quality plastic and Napa leather. It's an interesting combination as well. There are no complaints about the door cards or the seat upholstery. But the main highlight is, of course, the extended central touchscreen stretching between the front pillars. It's touch-sensitive and has a 39-inch diagonal. We've seen a similar solution before, and it may become a trend among Chinese automakers. Under the extended monitor in the central console, there is another 20-inch display that serves as the multimedia system screen. Below it, there are three service touch buttons, one of which is the hazard lights. Under them, you will find two cup holders with covers if they are not in use. And a reasonably spacious storage compartment under the armrest has become a mandatory feature in Chinese crossovers. By default, the model comes with a rectangular steering wheel, but you can optionally order a traditional round one. In the top trim, you also get a glass roof and an additional multimedia screens in the interior. I want to draw your attention to a structural feature of the body, which is especially noticeable from the interior. Specifically, the front windshield, which essentially forms a half of the roof. This is definitely an unconventional design, and it is very rarely seen. And for those who love spacious glove compartments, I have some disappointing news, as this car doesn't even have a small one. You'll need to get used to it, but there is a reason for this, which I'll show you later. Sitting in the rear seat, it is essential to mention that this car is considered a four-seater according to the manufacturer. This is because the rear row consists of two separate seats. The right seat can be reclined to almost a horizontal position. Simultaneously, the front seat folds completely and maximally moves forward, tucking itself under the front panel. Here is how it works. The left part is fixed in place. On the rear couch, if we can call it that, there is a wide folding armrest. Inside it, you'll find cup holders and a phone compartment. An additional section of the panoramic roof is installed above the rear row. In the middle, there is a crossbeam that provides extra body rigidity, hence safety. On the outside, it hosts a radar, two lidars, and other sensors. This once again emphasizes the technological level of this car. I'd like to draw your attention to the trunk opening button. It is also a part of the logo displayed on the tailgate. This solution is very obvious on one hand, but on the other hand, it is currently only done by companies in China. From the trunk compartment, you can use buttons to fold the rear seat backs. I would also like to separately highlight the front trunk. It's present just like in any true electric vehicle, and it's quite roomy. As this electric car is from China, it is equipped with locally standardized charging ports. The slow AC charging port of the GB/T AC standard, meant for alternating current networks, can be found on the rear fender's left side. You can charge the electric car through it, for example from a standard household outlet. Nearby, there is a fast DC charging port of the GB/T DC standard. It is located diagonally a bit lower. You can use this port to replenish the battery charge at stations with direct current. Thank you for your interest in our videos. We'll see you in the next Chinese electric car review. Goodbye!
Oh,